morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you to Jason Harris, the Design Network, your team, and to Satya and the entire team here at Surya for hosting our panel this morning. If any of you don't know who we are, I am one half of Design and Style. My name is Rachel Moriarty, and my co-host.
I'm the other half. I am Daisy Willard. Absolutely. So I am going to introduce, if I can get my phone to cooperate, I'm going to introduce our panelists. First up is Kelly Ellis.
Hello.
She is an interior designer and lifelong traveler, represents the epitome of livable luxury, casual international style mixed with rock star glam. An accomplished interior designer, certified life coach, and design psychology coach, Kelly's design work has a unique perspective which has been published in numerous national and international magazines. You've likely all seen Kelly as a featured designer on both TLC and HGTV, and she proudly stars in her own show on the Design Network, Design AOB. Next we have the lovely Veronica Solomon. Veronica, right? Veronica is an award-winning interior designer whose work has been featured in numerous publications and national blogs. Veronica has been named one of the top 10 emerging designers to watch by Black Interior Designers Network. She has created unique and memorable interiors for a wide variety of residential, home building, and commercial clients over her 10-year career as the CEO and creative director of Casa Valora Interiors. Ms. Sandra Funk. Sandra is the founder and principal designer of House of Funk. Still love that name. An award-winning full-service and luxury online interior design firm with offices in New York and New Jersey. House of Funk draws on over a decade in business to create thoughtful homes with an emphasis on clean lines, soulful touches, all rooted in tradition. Sandra's work has been featured in numerous publications, including Elle Decor, The Huffington Post, Apartment Therapy, Lux Interiors and Design, Daring Hall, and Design New Jersey. Shayla Kopis. Shayla is one of the South's Shayla is one of the South's most highly acclaimed luxury designers and tastemakers, and has created unique and innovative interiors for a wide array of residential and commercial clients throughout her 20-plus year career. Shayla's design aesthetic has what she calls a Southern glam appeal, with glitz, glam, pattern, and color as trademark traits. Her work has been featured nationally, and most recently she is authoring an entertainment design book. Y'all, she was telling us about it the other night. It sounds fabulous. And she has a show, Southern Glam, by the Design Network, which will be out later this year. And Albie, I am going to totally ruin your last name.
It's not mine. It's mine. That's the best response.
So, Roberta Bourbon, her passion for decoding spaces is the culmination of nearly a decade of retail visual merchandising and freelance marketing. Using her experience in space design and storytelling, she launched a concierge shopping and online interior design service, in addition to a curated bi-monthly home decor subscription box, which is Decor Discovery. I love that idea.
Yeah.
With an exceptional eye for online redesigns and vignette styling, Albie works with busy creatives and influencers all over the country through the power of online interiors. So, welcome to all of you. Welcome to all of you. We're so happy to have you here. First, we're going to start with a little question for you.
Yeah, so we want to know, for the designers out there, how many people have either heard of online design or are currently doing online design? Can we see by a show of hands? Perfect, perfect. So we just wanted to see how many people were aware of the term of the process. So,
is there anybody here who hadn't heard about it until they found out about this panel?
Okay, that's awesome. Perfect, perfect. So let's start with Miss Kelly Ellis.
All right. Hot seat. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, so what do you call your e-design service?
Online design. I'm muted.
I was so worried that was
It's not the first time I've been muted. It's okay. I get muted a lot. I just online design. I think it was just so clear and to the point. I had a show about 15 years ago, a webisode series, and it was onlinedesignTV.com. And way too early. It was just too early for anybody. Nobody was buying shoes online. They were not going to be doing interior design online. So I just kept it because I started with that. So it was an easy thing for me. And it's one of the first things you see on the website.
I love how you refer to your e-design as mailbox money.
I refer to anything that you can do that gives you ongoing income in your sleep, mailbox money. So this is just one of those things. We can talk about it all day long, but affiliate marketing, online design, things that you can do and it's residual and continual, mailbox money.
So you just came up with it before there were any of the big platforms?
Yeah. It was a very rough version of what we see now.
Yeah.
All of these ladies in their organized versions. I had webisodes that went along with it. I had something called the Kelly Kit, which before we even had online 3D space planning, it was actually a magnetic hands-on board. So people could do space planning. It was almost like, okay, I'm gonna date myself. Anybody remember color forms? Okay. So it was like color forms, where you had the space plan, you could move things around, and you could actually measure out your room and put it on little pieces of furniture, and you've done that. There's still magnetic boards for people who don't, if you want to mess on your plans, in your current plans, right? It's to scale. And so I wanted to create something so people could do it at home, and they could also help themselves, but I could help them if they wanted further help. So it wasn't as sophisticated as we've all gotten with the plans and the 3D renderings, and it's so easy. And online shopping, that wasn't available either. It wasn't a thing. So now, of course, it's much easier. That's awesome.
So what do your deliverables look like? How do you?
They're gorgeous. Well, of course, because we're digital, it's so much easier, obviously, to do. They're already there on the platform. At first, I was doing, we'll send you, we'll ship you, and I think that's great because we still like tangibles, as you do. People still like the magazine, they still like the book, they still like to get away from the digital. But because we're on that same platform, I do everything digitally. I'm sure you do too. So the space plans, they're 3D renderings. I use programs that you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, Room Styler. Does anybody know Room Styler? Does anybody use Room Styler? So it's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Albie does, and she uses Room Styler like a boss.
Right? And the renderings you can get are photo quality. So, it's not just a plug, but it's real. It's so good. Looks just like a photo. It looks like you took a picture and did really more perfectly. And the learning curve is easy.
Yeah.
That's key for me. I don't know about you guys, if you're all computer-aided drafters as well, but I'm not. So the deliverables are pretty great, right? They're clear, they're crisp, they're clean. You give them a space plan, you show them what it is, you can show them the 3D, give them a nice list of where they can buy, what they can buy, and where they can buy it. Because we know everyone's going to shop us at some point, right? So this is a very different platform than our current model, right? Where you're thinking, I'm going to have a design client, and we're going to walk in, and I'm going to make money hourly, or make money flat fee. However you do it, it's a different model. We're talking quantity with this model. You're talking numbers with this one.
And this is something that, you see, I told you somebody muted me. Like, you're done, sister.
Time's up.
My microphone is a
So, it does. Yeah, it doesn't like me. I think the battery's dying.
All right, we're going to win at this game. It's something that we could deliver, right? And they can do then the heavy labor. But maybe some of you, and we'll find out, offer, or we do it for you, or we can buy it for you. And that's where you have the opportunity to make some more money as well. So you can just keep going, right, with your services.
No, it's not.
So when I actually started doing e-design myself in 2014, and I was cobbling stuff together. It was ridiculous. So you started really early. What did your early deliverables? Like, how did you do an email, and how did you send them off?
Yeah.
everything was done by email. In fact, I started with a service, one of those other no name, shall be not named groups, and I was their celebrity designer. And so they had different price points for different designers on their website, and I basically watched everything they did. I saw how they did it. I saw what their deliverables looked like, and I was like, okay, this is the system that I'm going to use. Because when you're one of 45 designers on a website, it was really difficult to get work, right?
Yeah.
Or you were one of the most expensive designers on the website, you were never going to get work. But you could see how easy it was and what they were doing, so it wasn't hard to replicate. So at first, I was scrapping together things, making it look good. I preferred using a PowerPoint or a Keynote and creating a deck, right? And so I put things together in a deck or a Keynote, and it's so much easier. So it has the pictures from Room Styler, it has the space plans, it has the list, it has everything you need, which is great.
Email.
Send it off.
Put Shayla away. You're next
You're
up.
the next victim moments with this one. So you do your e-design a little bit differently. Can you tell us about what your e-design offerings are?
So we actually offer design in a book. Can you all hear me?
It's on.
It's on.
It's on. Speak up.
Y'all can hear me now? Okay. So we offer design in a book, but it is partly design in a book where we send it to our clients, but also it's digital. So we like that because our clients want to see, they want to see the fabrics, they want to see the paint chips, and then they connect with what we're doing. And that is, we offer basically what you offer, Kelly, but we just send, do you send them? We send them something just because that's the way our clients work. And one of the reasons that we started working in e-design is because it's really a lead-in for us. That's the way it's worked for us. So sometimes we'll get that $1,500 fee, and then they'll hire us and want us to do their home. It's just amazing. If you guys have that experience. So we'll get that $1,500 fee to do a little bath, and then they'll come in and say, oh, well, we want you to do our living room. Like, we want you to come here to do it. So that is the reason that we started, and that's what we offer, is design in a book.
I love that. Did you have a platform that you created?
Actually, yes. Mine is a little haphazard. So we worked on Wacora at first because we loved Wacora. It's very easy to use, very simple platform. It's not really a platform, but it's very simple to kind of put your ideas together. And then you can work with your clients back and forth, and all that correspondence, there's a recording of that. So if they say they don't like something, they do like something, there's, that transaction and all of that is recorded, and you can keep going back to it, referring back to it. We used a job form for our intake process, just because I believe in a very in-depth intake process, so I can get to know that client very well. As much as I get to know a client, that I'm going to go see them in their home. It's very important that they feel just as special and like you take the project seriously, because e-design is serious. Then we also, we talk to them too. I mean, we have many conversations through, go-to meetings, lots of go-to meetings.
Video conferences are amazing.
They are. And there's a process of about 4 to 6 weeks is about where we're at. 4 to 6 weeks.
That's a nice turnaround.
It's aggressive.
So I'm going to go over to Albie now while we've got the microphone down there. And Albie is exclusively e-design. So tell us a little bit about your process and how you bring people on, what platform you use, what do you do?
Can you guys hear me?
No, we're gonna talk about it. It's on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I have a soft voice, so I'll try.
Like you're recording. Close to
Is
your
this
mouth.
better?
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
My process was a lot of trial and error. So, like
Kelly mentioned, I did initially start on another platform. So when I decided to go online, I didn't know it was a thing. It was really just the result of my lifestyle. My husband's in the military, we moved, and we have a little girl. And so I kind of pieced together some of what I liked or disliked. And now I feel like I'm at a really comfortable place that works for myself and my clients. So I do have a CRM that I use that handles all of the back-end administrative stuff. So my invoicing, contracts, it's not design specific, but I really needed a hub for just all those documents, and so I'm not sifting through emails. And then everything else, I keep it really simple. I use Keynote for, I want to say, all of my presentations. And then the stuff that I create, I use Roomstyler for renderings. My floor plans, I've gone back and forth between two, just testing them out, but like simple, like Icovia has been one that's been really good, and Smart Drawer. And just simple floor plans just so they can visualize it. I put everything in Keynote and I send them back. But everything also will live in the CRM, so they get that as a PDF if they want to download it, go shopping with it. And I do have the option, similar to you, but that's something they would buy. Additionally, if they wanted more tangible, then I would mail them a kit. So I call it their designer beginner kit. So their swatches, so if it's like a larger project. So if they were getting something custom, paint chips, fabric, things like that, but it's rare. Most of the clients, they kind of need simple DIY type of things. So my deliverables, I kind of wanted to keep it really simple because I'm a really big tech junkie, but my clients are not most of the time. And I didn't want to overwhelm them with portals and all these kind of things. So Keynote makes their lives easier. They know how to download and they go from there. But it took a lot of trial and error and getting out of my own tech head.
But you also got your subscription box service. How does that tie in with your e-design services?
Well, initially, I wanted a way to just kind of get in their home. But what was happening is the subscriber wasn't necessarily the client, like that personality. So now it's definitely shifted where they're a bit more aligned. And the subscribers that I'm getting now are previous clients who just kind of want to add on accents as they go along. So it kind of just keeps them connected to me after the fact, as opposed to doing it in reverse, where it's like I get in their home, then they hire me. Now it's like I can keep just adding on additional accents and decorative pieces, even if I'm not working with them from a design point of view going forward.
What's in the box?
So it's funny, when I started it, it was really just things that I like.
Yeah.
And I thought like, oh, maybe I should like make it more style specific. It's still things that I like. So it'll be a variation of like throw pillow covers, trinket dishes. First of all, things that can fit in a 9x9x9 box. Shipping's expensive.
Yeah.
But so throw pillow covers, trinket dishes, bud vases, picture frames. There's a lot that can actually fit in a 9x9x9 box if you dig around long enough for it.
And that has got to keep you top of mind.
And that's the point. That I didn't want to like have too many things in their home because I do want them to have a curated space. So that's why I didn't make it monthly as well. I didn't want every month they're just getting things from me. But at the same time, when they want to refresh for a season and they're just like, I don't know how to change this, or they think they have to get rid of things, don't worry, there's a box showing up like 3 to 4 things and you'll be fine.
So great.
Love that. Okay, I feel like we've neglected the two of you a little bit. So let me just turn this way. All set? All right, Miss Sandra, tell us about how you do e-design.
Sure. Oh, mine's got battery. So our e-design was actually, it came via turning away. We have this great internal PR team that creates a lot of noise locally, and we have a ton of potential clients reach out to us that sometimes our pipeline's full or we're too expensive. So we were turning a ton of potential clients away, and eventually we decided we wanted another way that we could service all these interested parties. And so So we created e-design out of that need to have them be able to work with us at a lower price point. So we fiddled around quite a bit with it and fiddled around with pricing models and what have you. But right now we're at $1,500 per room. And what we do is luxury online design. And what we do is everything that we bring to our full service people, we just try to shrink it and modify it and distill it for our online. So we do use Vocora, with a big intake process where we take a ton of information from the potential clients coming in. And we are 6 weeks from having all of our pictures of the space. They have to give us a Pinterest board, they have to give us the measurements. Once we have all of their information in that really detailed intake form, we're 6 weeks to delivery from that date. And we still do full CAD drawings because I'm a control freak and I can't give up that level of detail. And but we not only say you should hang those 3 mirrors on that wall, but we tell you exactly what height above the sofa, how much dimension between them, super detailed. So,
Love that. Let's see here. So you kind of, like the others, just pulled pieces in together to set up your own platform in case it was coming.
Correct. It was, it felt, we did a ton of research, we iterated a bunch. We feel like we've got a really nice flow right now, and then it's just about quantity and, you know, keeping that pipeline full. But it's a wonderful way for us to build relationships, again, grab those potential clients that can't afford luxury, full service design. And also, we're finding that it's a great way. We're having clients that we did their kids' bedroom when they were 5 and 8, and then they're coming back when the kids are 17 to do the bedroom again. So it's like a great way for a previous client to do a room refresh with us, and they know us so well, and it works out well that way.
It's just perfect that way.
Works out good.
So what do you send out with your deliverables?
So we send an email with a link to Vocora where they log in and they have their CAD floor plans, elevations, oleo boards for inspiration images where we collect them all together, and then a link to each and every individual item and all the details of exactly what finish, what fabric, paint chips, wallpapers. We get super detailed. We kind of have these predetermined, like how to make a great bed that goes into each bedroom one, how to style a great coffee table that goes into every living room one, how to accessorize a powder room. So we really, you do that once, you do it well, and then you keep using that. So we have all these different templates that we use. But one thing that we don't do is we don't just, it's not a re-send of another bathroom, it's literally like our full service would be. It's full from scratch, but then there are those little tips and tricks that we can always reuse.
Those are so handy. You really are. And it's just part of the process anyway, right?
Absolutely, and you know, same way we do when we talk about care guides and we talk about, you know, all those little tips and tricks, they can be universal. And evergreen. Evergreen is important.
Yeah.
What does your design service look like?
Okay, so for me, I'm all about packaging my design services. And so I believe in the power of the buy now button. So clients can just go directly to my website and purchase a package, an e-design package. And it's a lot of local clients, just like Sandra's, where they want to work with me, but they can't afford the full service fee. And so they, basically I create everything I use Olio board to pull all of the different pieces together. I also do like a spreadsheet, not a spreadsheet, but a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation with all of the shopping links where they could go and just click on the shopping links to purchase each item. Everything is placed on a page on my website. It's a password protected page where the client is the only one, and myself can access that page. And that's where they go to see all their deliverables and everything for the project. I also use Loom videos to kind of do a screen share where I show them, walk them through the design process and all the different pieces and how they should hang this and kind of like you do. And I love to get very, very detailed with it. But for me, I don't want it to be, I don't want to spend the same hours that I spend on a full service because it really isn't. Mine start at $1,900, and so I am very aware of the amount of hours that I'm going to put into it. And so it's kind of like a shrunken down version of what I do for full service.
I'm just going to take a little sidestep here. How many of you know about Loom videos, L-O-O-M videos? If you don't know about it, they're fabulous.
They're perfect for this because you can literally walk your client through, this is what you do with this piece. Because because I used to type that stuff. And I used to be instruction sheets for everything, and I was just taking way too much time.
It's so much easier to talk it through in a video than to try and think about how you're going to phrase things so that they come across the right way.
Yes, absolutely. And for my e-designs, it's really, I keep it very, very structured. Set the boundaries, because if you don't, you can get sucked into it, and before you know it, you're spending like 100 hours on this. And so there's a contract that they sign going in, and it really outlines every little detail of it, that this is what's covered, this is what you're getting for it, this is my responsibility, this is how long you have before you reach out to me. So I keep it very, very structured, so we're on the same page and clients' expectations are set up front.
Okay, one real quick question that I was just thinking about for our audience. We all know about the e-design options that are out there that are kind of on a race to the bottom as far as pricing. And I don't think we've heard anything similar to that on this panel. It's still really good, beautiful design, luxury quality. It just brings down the fees just a little bit, which is one of the things.
I definitely have the price package.
Well, and it's more that there are options, I guess.
Oh, wait, that's what that
Okay. No, I am a numbers in this game. So I definitely have packages that start at 200 and I go up to 9. Because I found that I know how long it takes me to do certain tasks. So depending on what people are asking me, because I would have somebody who just want to be helped pick a paint color, all the way to do a design package for me. Mine is not just like I'm doing a regular design review. It's not that, because I have people that are not local to me that want to work with me on a lesser level. I have somebody who will watch a show on the Design Network, and then I'll get an email and they'll want me to work with them. Or they'll watch an HGTV show and say, I would love for you to do my kitchen. So we have packages at starting levels, rather than just, what do I paint my kitchen, and then I'm charging them $900 for that? No. Or it's just an email answer, I don't want to do that. So I always lead them to a package because it's easier, but it's not full scale. You'll talk to me twice, maybe for 30 minutes. We have an intake, it's very quick, and all of the things I offer are not custom necessarily. I'd rather send them to all of the things that I found that they could buy online, and it's very DIY after that. Very DIY, because what I've found is that I'm not getting repeat business. They want to hire me to drive to them. I'm working with people that are across the country, and they just want that one room, and they would love to come back, and we'll do multiple rooms for that same client, but it's not very hands-on, and I do start lower because I need them to understand what they're going to get for that price. And so it creates that automatic boundary already. You know if you're going to spend $400, it's not going to be you and I talking to each other for a really long time. But I'm going to answer your questions that you have, and we'll work from there, and then work with the packages from there. So it's very, very specific.
It's funny you say that because I offer work sessions, design work sessions that are just a quick, it's 2 hours. You ask me whatever you can those 2 hours and we'll get it done. So it's great to bring that up because it doesn't have to be a full-on room design. It can be just something simple and easy that they desperately need help with. They just can't do it on their own.
So they're lower price points, but it gets it done.
So other people can help.
That's right.
Okay, so we're going to move along to, if you don't know, Rachel and I, for the Design and Style podcast, we're all about visibility, both in person and online. We want designers to get out there and get seen so that they can make more money. So I'm going to ask everybody, how has e-design increased your visibility? Let's start with Sandra.
It's been great. I think it's a wonderful way for us, again, like I said, it's a wonderful way for us to capture that other market because we're interacting via the blog and our weekly design show and all of the things that we do in all of our social media. And so we're making those connections and it's allowing us to have that potential actual relationship with those clients. And so I think for me, it's a means to an end. It allows us to spend all that time being so visible because that actually is something that I can sell in mass. Because we really only need 9 full-service clients a year. So what is all this ruckus about? Otherwise, I don't like the markets, truly. So
It's been great.
My turn. Okay. So while I enjoy doing the luxury projects, I really enjoy working with clients who, they can't necessarily afford to work with me on a full service basis. And they reach out to me online, they follow me, they love my work. And so this is kind of my way of working with them on their level and getting them their version of luxury in their homes. And so for me, e-design has just been amazing to reach out to people who normally can't afford traditional interior design.
Well, I love it too because it's faster. So when you've got those big projects that take a year and a half, it's fun to have some quick, easy things in the middle just to give you inspiration for everything else.
Yeah, because you get to work on those pretty quickly. Mine take me about 6 hours to complete, and so I get to pass through those very, very quickly, and it's easy money, and and then I get to build relationships with these clients. And like someone else mentioned, I work with these clients on multiple projects in their homes, 4 or 5 rooms sometimes, and so it's just a way to stay in their lives for a long time. And then they do have me come back for bigger projects when they're at that point of their lives.
Perfect. Ms. Kelly?
Yes. Well, I think the e-design is an extension of everything that a lot of us are doing already, right? Because you have the shows and you've got webisodes and you have all these different things. So it's just another way for people to be tangible. Like you feel like, I know you've had this, I follow you on Instagram, how many of you heard that? Where you run into people who know who you are, but you don't really know them. So it's so nice to be able to extend yourself a little bit further to your point. Or you can help someone just choose a paint color, you can help them pick the best sofa. And you feel like you're still doing great work, but it's not the time-consuming thing. You're able to lead them to FLS, or you can go to your different websites, or if you have your own licensing deals, you can help them if they want to know where to buy your stuff. That's kind of fun. But it's just one step further of what we've all established and really worked hard on, is establishing ourselves already online, because you have to be online, right? And we know that, so we spend so much time, it's just, marketing ourselves in a different way, but also being able to touch people in another way.
It has been amazing for my business because of that connection. And I want to add on to what Kelly said about trying to start lower. We start at $1,500 for our e-design, but we have design on a retainer, which is very similar, where you pay me per hour and then they buy the retainer hours. And they can reach out to me, we can have our go-to meetings and we can pick out that paint color. Because I think that's important. You want to be approachable. You want to make sure that you have an approachable level that everyone feels like they can attain, so then they can build with you. Can y'all hear me? Yeah. This whole microphone's just kind of going crazy.
For me, online design is my visibility because I otherwise don't leave my house. And it also is giving me a ton of additional content. So my projects can go from being, yes, pictures on Instagram and things like that, but I can turn them into full-on shopping blog posts, videos on YouTube, and just for one project consultation, it can turn into a whole month's worth of content. So really for me, that online design has become my entire online visibility. And it also allows people to kind of visualize what they assume is an unattainable luxury interior design in a way that's like, oh, that's real life. That's from, I think it's a store they may recognize, or it reminds them of a room that they've been struggling with in their home. So it's really just giving me a face in the online space.
And here you are.
Very visible.
It's turned into in-person visibility.
I love my house.
But I love that you mentioned it. For you, it's about the flexibility. Because when you have small children, I'm military wife, military brat, military wife, all my life actually. My husband's retired Air Force, so I'm still a military wife, essentially. And when you're moving around a lot, it's really, really hard. And that was actually why I did e-design originally, was because we were moving around and I wanted to be there for my kids, and it's just nice to have options.
My husband went active duty. I wasn't going to look for a job. My daughter was 6 months at the time, and then we moved from New York to Washington, and so long as I had Wi-Fi, none of my work missed a beat. And it just made the most sense, because I thought I had to be in person to reach people, and I realized also that I have clients who may not be as tech savvy, but they love tech. So they like knowing they're checking their phone for a design or whatever it is, and they can still feel in the know in a way.
Okay, one last question, and we're going to open it up to the audience. So what we're going to ask you is, what was the biggest obstacle that you faced in starting eDesign? And since Albie, you have the microphone, let's start with you.
Understanding how it showed up to other people to then educate them. So I was still, again, not aware that it was a thing, and starting off with big box companies, they have their own model. So once I decided to step away from that, then really educating my clients on how this isn't a quick fix, it's not cheap design, it's not, we're just gonna slap something together and anybody can do it. I mean, maybe, but not really. So just kind of really like that education piece of the value behind what they were getting, even though I wasn't in their living room with them, that it was still a valuable luxury service. Because with that, it came with explaining my pricing. So you see big box and you see these small numbers, so they're like, well, why would I give you 3 times as much? So having those conversations and really building that connection, especially from the other side of the screen, that was probably the biggest hurdle. But as it got more popular, I want to say, it's definitely something that's not as difficult as when I started.
I agree with you. Everything you said is where some of our obstacles were. But for me, I'm not as tech savvy as most, so getting all those tech programs together and figuring out what we were going to use, I think was my biggest obstacle. And when we did, it's all run very well. I think the communication is so important, that communication with the client, so that they really do understand what eDesign's about and setting the boundaries.
I think the biggest obstacle for me in the beginning was to understand the mindset of someone who would reach out to a designer online. So the sales part, right? Who is that client? Because generally it's not the client who's going to hire you, right? Sometimes they do, but there's still somebody who is very savvy. They know what they love. They have Pinterest boards, like your clients now, right? You're like, why didn't you just put this together? You've pretty much done the work. Because they are so savvy. They shop. They know where things are. They know brand names, and they even know manufacturers. Like, they know everything. So it was bridging the gap between who is that person out there so that I can understand how to market to them. So I have my pricing structure. Almost nobody chooses the low end. And that's intentional. Because that seems like, oh, that's the cheaper one, I'm not gonna have much time to cut it. Nobody picks that. Then you have the middle one, the middle section, which is the $400, and they still don't do that. Because they see that there's more value in the larger package, and there's more FaceTime. I call myself a pocket designer because I FaceTime so much. They're like, okay, we want to show you this. And so I'm thinking we just make that a whole other thing. That it's just a FaceTime program, we're Zooming, right, with each other. And so learning the psychology of who your client is the best tool you can possibly do. Making sure that you create what's an avatar. So who is your client? Who is your target client, and who do you want to help? Then work backwards and understand what it is that person's going to want to see, what those deliverables will be, where they like to shop, where they want to shop, do they shop online, all of those things. Because you can send out as many package pieces as you want. You can set yourself up, and then nobody comes. So if you understand who you're marketing to, then you're going to be able to get your clients a lot easier, and that's something that's really important. It's huge.
For me, the biggest obstacle was the pricing compared to the amount of time I was going to put into it, and making sure that it's profitable for me. Because while I believe that everybody should have the design, I also believe I should make money doing it. So if I'm going to spend like 20 hours doing something, I'm only making $500 on. So that was something I had to kind of finesse and figure out the most efficient ways to pull it all together and still be profitable.
I have to agree with that. I think the pricing of a service like this, I think we're in our first year with our online design program, so we expect efficiency to continue to increase as we do it over and over again. In addition, we're currently exploring affiliate link backs and different programs because we really do need to layer that in. I don't know what we are doing because we're spending 25 to 40 hours per room obsessing over the details. So we do need the layer of affiliate links to make this work. Right now, my dream was to have this little design bubble where they give me all the input and I get to run off into my corner and geek out on the design and the details and then hand it back and just like wipe my hands and be like, next. That is really special to me. I wanted it to be, not location specific so that I could take this show on the road, travel, semi-retire and still be doing this. Like for me, it's a very long-term trajectory of what I see this bringing to me. Right now, it's not our most profitable piece. It's more, we're still working that detail out. Gotta get a little more efficient.
All right, so I want to hear from you all what questions you have.
My biggest question would be, as you're sourcing for these clients and sending them their e-design,
Then hold it.
As you're sourcing for these clients and sending them an e-design package, are you using retail sources? Are you doing trade sources? Where are you finding these things? Or are you just saying, go find a purple comforter and put it on, I'm curious as to how you handle that for your clients.
You want to take that? Okay. It's retail sources for the most part. I also have an online store on my website, so I do put links in their shopping list to my store. So I'm still sourcing from trade vendors, and I'm making the profit on that. Not maybe 20% of each project or something like that, but it's usually retail sources. And I usually kind of keep the same vendors. That's why it's so efficient for me, because I can just pull from the same vendors that I always do, and so I know their products pretty well.
We're in the same boat.
Oh,
We're in
okay.
the same boat. So I'll second that, George.
We've got time for just a couple more questions because we have, I know you're all busy.
I also have a question about when you source things for your clients, say it comes from a retailer, manufacturer, whomever. Do you ever have issues with the clients receiving it and saying this looks very different in person, I don't like it? Like you have language in your contract that protects that, or like how far do you go to making sure that they love this e-design when it's in person?
It's the same thing when you're working with a client now, right? Because we know there's so many, unless of course you live down the street from Furnitureland South, we don't have brick and mortars like that down the street with 1 million square feet of product they can sit and touch, right? So again, that's really why you have to figure out who that person is, because they're probably online shoppers already, right? So bridging the gap between that person who has to sit and touch versus the person who's totally fine buying from a catalog. And we still encounter that now with our high-end luxury pieces. I can only do so much. I can send you a swatch, I can send you a piece of fabric. If you're sourcing and you put something together, or you sent them something they can physically touch, there's only so much you can do, right? Besides whittle it from soap and, well, I don't know what you want to do. Right? Or I can have you all come to market with me and walk around with my clients twice a year, right? Maybe we do that. So there always is a leap of faith that they have to take with you, just like your regular clients. It does happen. I swear this is not a giant plug, but when I do have large rooms that I need things delivered, Furnitureland South has been a great source for me, and I'm in California. But I know that if I can get everything delivered from one source, you bet I'm going to do that, right? Because I can save them on delivery. Or if I'm picking things from different areas or different websites, I know the returning policies, right? You know the return policies. You have to, but yes, you have to work those into your contracts and let them know. Warning, but it's just like every other design job that you do. It's the same issues. Generally, that online shopper is pretty good, right? They know that they can return something. The other people also buy shoes online and their clothes online, and they're good. So that's why you want to market to those people.
One more question? Yes. My question is about revisions. Do you allow any revisions or reselections, or do you provide more than one option at the get-go?
We do allow revisions. We allow a couple revisions, and I think that's been very helpful. Again, that line of communication is very important. We usually don't have to make very many because of our intake process being so in-depth. And also those go-to meetings are very helpful to where we don't end up in that position very often, but we do allow it.
Same. After our initial intake, I do a video with them to really make sure like I'm honing in on what they want. And even when I'm presenting, the revisions I found when I had a lot of them was because I was giving them a lot of options. So if I kind of hone it in and tweak it myself, and they're only seeing 2 versions or 3 versions of something, they almost always go with the one I want them to go with.
Is that because you don't show the other one too long? Yeah. Is it this one or this one?
But I try to, I don't want to overwhelm them. Now, if there is a circumstance where they're like, everything, like, for whatever reason didn't work, I do have it in my contract that they have revision options, but they still need to stay within the timeline of the project. So we're not here 3 months later still figuring out a nursery.
Now, Rachel and I would like to show you a little something that we've been working on, eDesign-wise. We've been working with the Design Network to develop their new eDesign platform. We just want to show you a few features. It's all new. The people come in, they have the option of taking a style quiz, which always makes them happy. How many of your clients love taking style quizzes? But they don't have to. So once they go through all of the options, it narrows it down, and it gives them, here's what basically you are. Would you like to see a designer who specializes in this area? And it shows them options. And so they can go view their work, just go ahead and hire them. They have different price points, different packages. And the designers price their own. That was very important to us, that the designers price their own so that you're not locked into a company that's just trying to get, a $50 whole house design. And there's a whole dashboard for them to use. So there are questions built into this for the clients to answer. There's a questionnaire. We have detailed instructions for doing room measurements, taking photos of spaces, and adding inspiration photos. And then you go to presenting them, kind of like Albie was just saying, with a couple of options. Do you like concept 1 or concept 2? There is a place for communication, because we all know how key communication is. And then their final deliverables show up. So they get the design concept, a floor plan. You can add some additional deliverables. There are a few things that every single one is going to have. Every single one is going to have a floor plan. Everyone is going to have a shopping list. But you can add things like 3D room rendering, style tips, which Sandra spoke to earlier, and a design guide. Here's how you implement it. And you can also do, this is Rachel's and my favorite part, you can do a video. Like you mentioned, you walk them through, you say, okay, this is what goes where, this is why I chose this particular thing for you. And then of course the shopping list. So that's a good example of the shopping list right there. And they just click through. What I love about this is you don't have to worry about, Kelly mentioned it, you don't have to worry about finding a ton of different sources. It's all in one thing. They just click, 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 add it, and they get all of it delivered to you. And you get a commission, so it's basically affiliate sales.
Right. Mailbox money.
I think that's it for right now. We are happy to answer some specific questions after we're done. We'll stay here for a few minutes. So thank you all so much for coming, and we really appreciate you.